Government Television. Welcome to this week's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting. Originating from the County Administrative Center, located at 1115 Truxton Avenue in Bakersfield, California. Grounded in ideas, energy, and innovation, Kern County's vision is to be a driving force for the world's fifth largest economy. And our mission is to exceed expectations of the communities we serve, changing the way they feel about government, those who manage it, and the services it provides. Today's Kern County Board of Supervisors meeting will convene momentarily.
Good morning, and welcome to the Tuesday, June 21st, 2022, 9 a.m. meeting of the Board of Supervisors. We're going to begin today's meeting with the flag salute. This will be led by Supervisor Perez. And if you would please... Roll call. Oh, excuse me. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Starting off good here. Starting off right.
Supervisor Perez.
Here.
Supervisor Scribner.
Here.
Supervisor Maggard. Supervisor Couch.
Here.
Supervisor Perez. I'm sorry. Yes, Supervisor Perez. Well, why don't we call on Supervisor Peters?
You got it.
Okay.
Sorry, Kathy. I know that was me that fouled
Double
you
trouble
up.
here.
Me too.
Yeah. I knew everyone was here, so I just... Okay. So, as I said, please stand for the flag salute, and if you would remain standing for a moment of prayer, silence, or meditation, whichever you prefer.
Please stand. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, Pet of the Week is next. And so I'd like to call on Nick Cullen, our Director of Animal Services, to introduce our Pet of the Week. Good morning.
Good morning, Chairman Scribner, members of the board. I have with me this morning a beautiful 12 to 14-month-old. She's a bully breed. Her name is Rosie. She's already spayed. She's already ready for adoption. She's got all her vaccines, and actually her adoption fees are waived. Any animal in the shelter that's been there over 30 days, we waive the fees because the longer an animal's out of shelter, the more at risk they are of not making it out of the shelter alive. So she's a beautiful girl. She actually went out on a foster date on Saturday and spent a couple of hours away from the shelter, and she did really well, and we got a lot of good feedback, and she's available for adoption right now.
Thank you, Nick. Rosie, she's terrific, and we wish her the best of luck in finding a forever home. Thanks so much. Okay, we will begin by considering the consent agenda, and agendas are located on the tables near the doors for anyone wishing to follow along. And all items listed with a CA above the item number are considered to be routine and non-controversial by county staff. Consent items will be considered first and may be approved by one motion. If a member of the audience wishes to comment or ask questions regarding an item on the consent agenda, they may do so prior to a vote being taken. A member of the board may remove any item from the consent agenda, and it will be considered in listed sequence with an opportunity for any member of the public to address the board concerning the item before action is taken. A member of the public may also comment on any closed session items. And so I'm going to read the consent agenda items now. Starting on page 2, items 4, 5, and 6 are on consent. On page 3, all items 7 through 13 are on consent. On page 4, we have items 14 through 18 on consent, and then 20 and 21 are on consent. So 19 will be heard off of consent. And finally, on page 5, items 22 through 27 are all on consent. So I'll ask if there's any members of the audience that have any questions or comments about any of those consent agenda items. Okay, seeing none, I'll return to the board for any questions or comments. Otherwise, we'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
You have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you. Next, we'll return to page 2 on our agenda, item number 1 under resolutions and proclamations. This is to proclaim June 27th through July 1st, 2022 as National Boys and Girls Club Week in Kern County, and Supervisor Perez will make this presentation.
I am so excited to do this. A motion on proclamation?
I'll make the second.
Thank you.
The motion is approved. 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Good morning. How are you?
See you. You got a nice smile. Very good. 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 Hi. Good to see you. Hello. Good job. Hi there, stranger. Good to see you. All right, let's come on up here. This is very, very cool. It's just light. Okay. Presenting this morning, Zane Smith, Executive Director, Boys and Girls Club of Kern County. Thank you for being here and for all that you do, Zane. Good morning, Chairman Scrivener and fellow members of the board. I am so excited and thrilled to make this proclamation each year. This morning, we are proclaiming June 27th through July 1st, 2022 as National Boys and Girls Clubs Week in Kern County. There are now 70 Boys and Girls Clubs throughout Kern County. 70, Kathy Krause. In all of our districts, serving over 10,000 young people, our future. The programs and activities provided by the Boys and Girls Clubs here in Kern County are amazing, absolutely vital to the lives of young people. They certainly were to mine, Zane, as I grew up in that institution. The club provides an assortment of programs just as unique as its young members, from visual and performing arts to sports and job readiness. Our local clubs equip young people with the skills needed to graduate high school and be well prepared for life and work by offering tested, proven, and nationally recognized programs in 5 core areas: character and leadership, education and career development, health and life skills, the arts and sports, and fitness and recreation. Zane Smith, Executive Director Extraordinaire of the Boys and Girls Club of Kern County, is here, and I have no doubt is going to share more of what our local clubs are doing. Right now, I'd like to again formally proclaim June 27 through July 1 as National Boys and Girls Club Week in Kern County, California. Commend this organization for providing comprehensive, effective services to the young people in our community. And above all of those, above all that's being offered, as critical as they are, I feel and I see love being given to young kids. That alone is so powerful, Zane. With all of this, it's magic. I encourage everyone to join me in recognizing Boys and Girls Club of Kern County for doing whatever it takes to build great futures for youth in our community. Zane, it's a privilege and honor. This is a place of my childhood that I spent that brought me so much comfort and entertainment and friendships, and it continues to do that, and I'm so grateful for all that all of you do. Thank you. Board of Supervisors, County of Kern, State of California officially proclaims June 27th to July 1 as National Boys and Girls Club Week in Kern County. This recognition has been entered into the official board minutes and signed by our Honorable Chairman, Zach Scrivener. So I want to present this to you on behalf of the board, and with all my heart say thank you.
Should we do photo first or?
After.
Okay, awesome. Forgive me, I always forget the format. But before I offer my thanks to the supervisors, I'd like to introduce my associates. This is the incoming executive director for the Boys and Girls Club, probably in the next 4 years, Barry Hill, and then his successor, Chris Molina, former club kid.
Oh, wow.
Sorry. And then one of our current club kids, Cheyenne. Cheyenne is in performing arts and also does volleyball clinic with us, and then participates in an assortment of other programs. But she's kind of the ideal member at the club in that she supports the club, accesses everything. So, sorry, guys. We brought her. She's actually here for another event, but we snagged her. So anyway, the things I want to offer up is on behalf of the entire club and all the kids that we serve. Each and every one of you guys have been instrumental in supporting the clubs. We're up in Fraser Park, thanks to you. Supervisor Couch, and you'll be glad to know that not only are we at one location, we're at 3. We breached LA borders and moved into Gorman, so we're serving the kids at Gorman School. Had to get permission for that, but yeah, so it's Boys and Girls of Kern County and beyond. We're up in Tehachapi at the middle school up there, and they liked us so much during the school year. They are doing a summer day camp up there for the tweeners and the teens. So, but all of you guys have been instrumental in our growth. We could not do it without the community support. I'm glad to say this summer we've moved from 5 summer day camps to 13 summer day camps throughout South Kern, especially thanks to you. And we've moved from. We had 7 food service programs last year, food service program sites throughout Kern County, and now we're at 19 food service. So kids are getting meals throughout Kern County, including Lamont and Arvin and Beardsley area. And again, it's community support that allows us to have the confidence to keep our doors open and stay active and play the vital role that we do in kids' lives. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you for honoring us and having us and supporting us, because the work you do keeps us going. So thank you very much. Okay, thanks. Sorry. Yeah. So do the photo? Fantastic. And honestly, we do that as well.
Yeah, we can do it one facing her.
We've got Mom Extraordinary, one of our parents.
Squeeze in.
Prom stop makes us look thin.
Yes.
Stand tall.
Thank you. Chin up.
Nose, chins up. Take the double chin away.
Thank you. And the triple. Okay, what about right here? Here we go. Squeeze in. Thank you. God bless you guys. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Couch.
just real quick, Zane, the emotion we just saw is a big reason why you guys have been so successful, and your staff, I think, emulates and follows your lead. And I just want to say, it's my honor to know you and to have worked with you, but I made a couple of phone calls, but you all did all the work that really got that one club off the ground that's now turned into 3, and now 70 is an astounding number. Are you the largest Boys and Girls Club in the country now?
Yes.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Next is item number 2, public presentations. This portion of the meeting is reserved for persons to address the board on any matter not on this agenda, but under the jurisdiction of the board. Board members may respond briefly to statements made or questions posed. They may ask a question for clarification, make a referral to staff for factual information, or request staff to report back to the board at a later meeting. Also, the board may take action to direct the staff to place a matter of business on a future agenda. So I'll ask if there's any members of the public that would like to make a public presentation. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Do we have anyone here that would like to make a public presentation? Come on up. Good morning.
Good morning. This is my first time doing this. My name is Raquel Tony, and I've been a Child Protective Services worker for over 15 years, with the last 4 years as a training supervisor in family services. Due to resignations, we are constantly redistributing our caseloads. Our workers are leaving to mental health, to schools, to hospitals and private organizations whose starting pay can be up to $10 more than our starting pay of our social workers. Social workers are historically hard to fill positions. They care for the safety and well-being of vulnerable children, and we want to be able to help people and better our community. In order to fulfill our requirements, we are working beyond our work schedule. For example, overtime hours in family services are over 9,000 hours. Comp hours for family services are over 4,400 hours. And other areas in ER, 5,900 hours. For OT, comp hours in ER, 3,300 hours. OT hours in court, over 3,700 hours. And comp hours in court, over 2,600 hours, just for us to fulfill our requirements. We work with the same demographics as law enforcement, but without any additional security measures. Our emergency response social workers are first responders. We are faced with safety issues, including verbal and physical threats of harm to ourselves and our families. We have to file police reports for protection, but are still required to comply with the court requirements to meet with our parents. Our families and our cases are becoming more complex in nature, and clients are more bold and brazen. in their actions. Recently, a man threw a rock through a window that shattered onto an employee. That same man, the following weekend, broke the door as well. Staff have invested in home security systems to help ensure the safety of their own family due to these threats made by our clients. We're just simply asking the county to recognize the efforts, the commitment, and value of our social services workers by investing in wages to retain and recruit quality workers. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Good morning, Chair and Board of Supervisors. My name is Francisco Martinez. I'm a 18-year county worker in CPS. You know, I know it's been a while since she's seen me, since December. You know, back when everything's opened up with COVID, just everything's been exacerbated. So I've been too busy to come and weekly and tell you the state of conditions in CPS, but they haven't improved. Before I forget, I do want to turn in a petition and some storyboards. The petition that social workers have signed, it's called Kern County Social Workers Are Essential and Deserve a Fair and Livable Wage. We, the undersigned social workers of the County of Kern, stand united through our union, SEIU 521. We, and now you can read the rest, and then the storyboard basically kind of giving our voice to some of our issues that we come across, and I'll give it to the clerk afterwards. Basically, like I said, if I had the time to come to each board meeting, I would give you the status. I do the same thing that I came in fall. I would tell you how many people have left the week previously, how many people are retiring. But like I said, once COVID issue, the barriers have gone down, there's more issues that we have to address. And it's not getting any better. I see too many social workers on probation within the 6 months getting cases they should not have. And I'm there trying to support them to hang in there, hang in there. Once you get over your probation, you can start saying, I should not have these cases. But right now they're getting them because there's nowhere else to go and they can't say nothing. Anyways, that's all I have to say, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Do we have any more speakers this morning? Good morning.
Hi, good morning. After my speech, I would like to submit our signatures as well. Good morning. My name is January Bottoms. I'm a resident of District 5. I'm an employee.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't catch your name. Slowly. Your name?
January Bottoms.
Thank you.
I'm a resident of District 5, and I'm an employee for the Department of Human Services. I proudly served my country, and I'm currently serving my community as an HST3. There are currently 42% of households in Kern County receiving benefits. California ranks number 1. Kern County is number 11th in the state receiving aid. I have served in many programs with the division within the department. We, the HSTs that serve this vulnerable population of Kern County, from the homeless to the families that come to achieve self-sufficiency. We, as the HST, sees the needs and feels the pressure alongside of the public when there are gaps in services due to high caseloads and diminishing staff levels. There has been an increase of homelessness of 95% since 2017. We currently have one PHA-THA worker assigned for these homeless cases. Fellow coworkers have come before this board in the past to communicate the high turnover and even higher caseloads that seem to demonstrate what we are seeing as the current exodus of workers. These numbers impact the growing needs of our community. We have experienced record numbers in applications in all programs. We have experienced a large number of employees leaving the department for less stressful and high-paying jobs. We have seen unit sizes diminish from full staff to reduced units. As of Monday, we currently have 196,653 applications. For May, we received 10,988 applications, what brings us to a total of 207,641 cases. Our ongoing caseworkers have 350 plus caseworkers. Our P-team units receive 10 to 15,000 cases per month that average up to 1,500 per HST on top of our daily duties. I have seen examples of my fellow coworkers leaving on stress leave due to the demand and the stress and the overworked we are. I have seen clients pass away before receiving their benefits. I have seen families become homeless because we could not give them the cash aid that they needed in time to provide for our community. I have always...
Your time has expired. If you could please bring your comments to a close, we appreciate it.
Yes, I have always been a service-oriented person serving my community with pride and my department values. I ask that you consider the dedication to us employees that have stayed here in the trenches, and I ask that you recognize the value of our dedication during the compensation and classification meetings. Thank you. And then we as well, we would like to submit our signatures on part of the human service technician workers.
You can give those to the clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. Any other speakers, please? Okay, seeing none, then we'll move on to board member announcements or reports. Do we have anything from any of the board members today? Okay, no? Seeing none? Very well, that will bring us then to item 19 under Public Health Services, and we'll ask our Director, Bryn Kerrigan, to come forward with her staff. This is a report on the efforts of the Black Infant Maternal Health Initiative.
Good morning, Mr. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
Go ahead. You're good now.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. I am joined this morning by Amy Rutledge, Assistant Director of Public Health. The item before you this morning is a presentation on the efforts of the Black Infant and Maternal Health Initiative. There are rather startling statistics indicating that Black women and infants nationwide disproportionately suffer from higher rates of pregnancy complication and death than women and infants of other races. Nationwide, approximately 700 women die each year from pregnancy-related complications. Data from the Centers for Disease Control's Pregnancy Mortality Surveillance System shows that Black women suffer much higher pregnancy-related deaths than other races and specifically experience a nearly 3.2 times higher mortality rate than white women. When looking at data related to age groups by race, you will see that the disparities increase exponentially in the older age groups. Specifically, Black women under the age of 20 are 1.5 times more likely to suffer mortality than white women of the same age group. But Black women between the age of 30 and 34 are 4.3 times more likely to suffer mortality than white women of the same ages. When looking at data related to educational level by race, the disparities continue to exist. Specifically, you will see that Black women at all educational levels suffer mortality at rates higher than similarly educated white women. Black women who have a college-level education suffer from a mortality rate that is at least 5 times higher than white women. These disparities exist when looking at statewide data and are even worse when we look at data from right here in Kern County. Specifically, Black women are nearly 4 times more likely to die from maternal complications than women of other races. This rate is nearly 1.5 times higher in Kern County than what we are seeing statewide. Black infants are born underweight nearly 2 times as often as other races, a rate at nearly 1.2 times higher in Kern County than statewide. Black infants are born prematurely nearly 1.5 times as often as other races. This rate is nearly 1.2 times higher in Kern County than what we are seeing statewide. Black infants are 1.5 times more likely to die before turning 1 than infants of other races. Our department provides many different services to pregnant women and infants in Kern County, including services specifically targeting the Black community. However, these disparities highlight the need for deep systemic change. For this reason, in February of 2021, and in collaboration with First 5 Kern, a community steering committee known as the Black Infant and Mortality Health Initiative, referred to as BEMHI, was formed. consisting of numerous partnering agencies and local Black mothers, many of whom are here in the audience today. The group has met monthly to develop a comprehensive, multifaceted 3-year strategic plan in hopes of addressing these disparities. Starting in July 2022, BIMHI will address the following. Our first goal is to create educational pathways through local colleges and local internships in social work and healthcare fields to help increase the Black healthcare provider workforce. Our second goal is address maternal health as a factor in, address mental health as a factor in Black maternal and infant mortality by conducting focus groups aimed at identifying barriers to accessing mental health services and creating monthly sister circles or peer support group sessions around wellness and the launch of a robust phased public awareness campaign. And the third goal is to raise healthcare provider awareness of Black maternal and infant health disparities by providing a training forum for OBGYN professionals, training within healthcare facilities, and distributing information and materials. Additionally, we have applied for a grant through the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services in the amount of $500,000 to fund the initiative. We expect to know whether we were selected for this funding within the coming month. Today is an exciting day, publicly announcing the efforts that BIMHI will undertake over the next 3 years and publicly declaring our commitment as agencies working in tandem and dedicated to making positive change in these heartbreaking rates. Mr. Chairman and members of the board, that concludes my presentation. I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you so much for that. I will first ask if there's any questions from members of the board before I go to the public. Okay. Seeing none, we'll come back to the board in a few minutes. Are there any members of the public that would like to ask any questions or make any comments on the presentation? Very well. Seeing none, then I'll return to the board. The requested action on this is to receive and file. Supervisor Perez.
Thank you. I want to thank you for your work in this area. You know, educating the public and ourselves, right, is the first step. We can't manage what we don't measure. I think this is very exciting. And so thank you. We did some work last week around Latina, right, maternal awareness. And I was really hopeful that, you know, we just look at sort of what are the impacts of poverty and impacts to our public safety, public health, and of course, you know, the future of Kern County. So really appreciate what you're doing. It means a lot to a lot of people. And I'm happy to make the motion to receive and file, and I look forward to more input on how we can improve these matters. We know that we can improve them. We just have to focus on it and care, right? So thank you.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
The motion is approved, 4 ayes, 1 absent. Supervisor Maggard.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That brings us to the conclusion of our agenda for this morning. We don't have any items to consider in closed session, and so the board will return at 2 p.m. And so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
We're adjourned.